obviously before playing for Yorkshire, you had your time at Worcester. How was that coming through the development setup there? And how has that shaped your career to date?
Massively, to be honest. Worcester was a brilliant club to me, and also Malvern College. They were in partnership with Malvern, and the reason I went down there was because I got the scholarship to the school, and then was able to train because Worcestershire actually train at the college. So it meant in my last couple of years when I was in sixth form, I think I spent more time in the nets than I did in the classroom, which obviously for my development, it was brilliant. And I also managed to leave with a couple A levels, which is kind of a bonus. So I had for down there, they were just absolutely brilliant with me. And obviously it came to a bit of a bitter end, but I look back there, I've still got some of my best friends are still down there, and I absolutely love the club and have nothing but great respect for the club. And also I'm proud of if for the last couple of years, they've obviously been at finals day and we haven't. I sit at home like a fan watching them, just hoping they get there. And obviously last year it was disappointing for us, but when just as from watching it anyway, but whereas the year before when they won, I was so happy for the boys, and it's just great to see they're getting the hard work they put in while I was there as well, the success that they deserve. And hopefully for us at Yorkshire, I feel like we are building something really special up here now, and hopefully we can start getting silverware.
Cool. And I know you made your debut against Hampshire in 2014. What memories do you have of that game in particular?
So that's a funny game. So I remember it just raining for forever. And we ended up going out for 6 overs we were fielding. So it was quite nice. And then from that, then we went to, when we were batting, I just remember Mo and Darryl Mitchell scoring loads of runs. And obviously I was batting 4, so I think we lost a fairly early wicket. Then I had all the nerves. I think they might have put on, I don't know how many they put on, but they put on a lot. And I walked out to bat, faced Liam Dawson, took my mark. I had a silly point and a short leg in. And I first ball clipped it off my hip for 2. I thought, oh, this is all right. Second ball I defended. Third ball I thought, I'm just going to go whack it. So I ran down the wicket and I tried to punch it over the top. I thought, I'll show them how good I am. And I tried to do that. And I tried to bat you know how Ian Bell would play his run down and his nice high elbow.
Yeah.
Which I literally, that's not me. I just can't, if I'm going to go for it, I got to commit to it. So I ended up getting caught mid-off, 3 balls for 2. Walked in and I actually learned such a valuable lesson there though. Actually, when I'm going to play an attacking shot, to commit to it, because I know if I ran down and tried to launch it, I'd have launched it. But because I tried to be something I'm not, I obviously got out. But I think I took 2 catches in that game, so it was same amount of runs as catches.
I mean, what was it like coming back into the pavilion actually after that? Was it more frustration with yourself, or were you just still elated that you'd been out there to play your first innings for Worcester?
No, I remember having a chat to the coach about it, which he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" But yeah, it was just it was the frustration of going why didn't I do what I should do, and be me? That was the biggest frustration. I think it took me probably two seasons to actually, or 1.5 seasons to go because my 4-day cricket at Worcester for my first couple of years, I was in and out the side. Started horrendously, then the back end of that year did well. Started the next year, got dropped after 2 games. I was just in and out, and I got to the point where I was trying to please other people instead of be me. And as soon as I've just started to be myself and just do exactly as I please with a bat, I'm actually performing because I'm the one committing to my shots, my decisions, everything like that. So it's kind of a lot easier to go, yeah, this is what I do, this is how I do it. And if someone has an issue with me or I get left out, it's not going, well, I was trying to do what you wanted me to do and it's not worked, but you still drop me. It's, well, yeah, I'm doing what I wanted to do because what I feel is best for the team is that. And once you perform, it's kind of, you've got that performance under your belt and like I've obviously done it before, so I know it works, and it's about kind of believing in myself and what I feel is right for the team. And if you're 100% committed, then I feel you perform more regularly.
Talking about commitment and going big, I know you had a massive 1-2-7 against Durham in the 2020 for Worcester. What memories do you have of that game, and how do you feel that actually accelerated your career?
I remember, that game, my brother had recently got back off deployment from the Navy. I think it was that day. So he was at the game, and my mum was there with him as well. And obviously my dad was in the changing room. So that was kind of a good, like a special day for me in that respect. And it was just the license Worcester gave to us as a kind of unit to go out there and be free and play as you please. And it was massive in my learning because that day we had a psychologist with us, and we were actually doing testing as the game was going on. So I had a heartbeat sensor on, and was just kind of, we were trying to figure out where someone's peak performance lies. So the kind of heart rate you need to be at to be able to kind of flow and be, and we found out for me that mine's quite a high, like I need to be at quite a high tempo for me to be at my best. So going forward, it was actually brilliant learning. Obviously, I had a result that you go, I'd love that every day. But it was just good to have kind of that experience and that kind of thing to go, actually, so from now on, when I go out to bat, I need to know that actually I'm feeling in kind of a alert phase, whereas some guys really struggle when their heart rate's high, whereas for me it's actually better. So if I'm going out and I'm feeling a bit sluggish, then I need to find a way to get my heartbeat going. So it might be in the change room, I'll be up and down, kind of a bit more fidgety than others, because I know that's what I need to do. So when I'm out there, I am switched on. But yeah, from kind of memories of probably that game, I think it was just pure excitement of, it was our first T20 that year and I was just buzzing to get going. And then it was just one of those days where it seemed that you hit the ball clean, like I just hit the ball clean, and with the freedom we were given, just to keep backing myself and just keep trying to hit boundaries.
And comparing New Road to Headingley, obviously Headingley being a much bigger ground, what's it like when you get going at either ground and the crowd really gets behind you? Do you feel it more on a smaller ground, or actually do you feel, I guess, the magnitude of it at Headingley a lot more?
I don't really, when you're playing, I don't really notice it, especially batting. I feel kind of that you just can go out there. For me, when you're hitting it well, it doesn't matter kind of the size of the ground if you're feeling good. And I think the only difference at Headingley to probably New Road is I probably think about the game a lot more now. So I don't, like, probably in that innings against Durham, I wasn't thinking kind of not about the team as such, but I knew we were in a good place, so I could keep going. But it was more kind of, oh, it's going well, so I'll just keep going, and I'll keep going. Oh, I'm here now, I'll keep going. Where now I actually try and build an innings to go, what's a winning total for this team? And what do I need to do to get us to that score? And if on the day we're chasing 220, then obviously I keep going. But if you've got off to a flyer and you're setting a score, but you go, well, actually, we only need 160 on this pitch and we're already on 60 off 6 overs, then you potentially will rein it down a little bit. And kind of, so that's where I think from where I'm at now compared to back then is I read the game a little bit more, and kind of, I'd like to say I take more responsibility. Obviously, when you score 120, you kind of go, well, it doesn't matter. Like, you've scored 120 and you've put your team in a winning position. But if, for example, I got out on 60 trying to go for a big shot, when actually we only needed 180 and I was looking to try get 240 or something for the team, then it doesn't actually. So I've learned kind of to make sure that I'm trying to put match winning scores, like totals, on the board, and not kind of, and I think that's kind of probably more where just the experience of reading conditions and risk management and stuff like that has kind of improved.
And talking about understanding the game and development, obviously players like yourself, Joe Clark, Pat Brown have all come through at Worcester and then gone on to play for the Lions or beyond. How has Worcester helped you to think about the game, and what's the education like at the club to make you a thinking cricketer?
It's bumpy. Steve Rhodes was brilliant at kind of putting you under pressure and doing little skills, and he'd make you practice shots that you kind of would never dream. Well, you wouldn't kind of dream of playing, but or in games, and like you'd be practicing, and he'd kind of be going, right, do this, do that, do this, hit this pocket, hit this area, and then you find a way to actually get the ball into those zones. So you kind of always experiment and always getting better, and also you're playing a lot of cricket. Like by the time I come to Yorkshire, obviously I played over 100 first team games, which is kind of a massive, like experience wise. A lot of people say at a bigger county don't play that much till later on. So to have that experience behind me and kind of be going on the up is obviously good, because obviously then I'm only gaining more and more experience, where other people who start a little bit later, say a bigger club, or don't get their breakthrough for as long, like it's kind of, they still have to do the learning, where at Worcester it was brilliant because you could learn and play and you're always there or thereabouts in the squads, because it was only a small squad. So as long as you were performing obviously to a certain level, you kind of kept your place. And it, like you see the, like down there now, still you've got kind of people who are getting their go and stuff like that, and it just means if you're playing cricket, you're obviously improving, and first team you improve a lot quicker than you do in second team. So that, and Bumpy was always kind of pushing you to improve, which was brilliant. I was just saying also, Kevin Sharp, I did a load of work with him as well. And he would always be there to support. And batting wise, well, if you look at the likes of kind of England's batters at the minute, he did, because he was at Yorkshire before, but he worked a lot with Rooty, Johnny, Livy, Gat, so there's actually a lot of cricketers who have actually come through Sharpie, and kind of he's been massive with me, and he's always kind of, he's just nice and relaxed and kind of good to just chat. And even if you're doing rubbish, he'd just make you laugh and kind of take the weight off your shoulders and go, it's only a game of cricket, like that kind of thing. And it was just like, he's always known how to read like the situation, and he's always honest with you, which has kind of been like, which was brilliant for me at Worcester, and kind of still keep in contact with him now. And it's nice to kind of, when I see him and stuff, you can have good laughs, but he also will talk if you need kind of someone to talk to.